Boas politas, sejam bem-vindos a mais uma live. Eu sei que o countdown ainda estava a contar, mas vamos arrancar já. Não quero que seja muito longa esta espera, malta. Muito obrigado a todos que já estão aí para assistir então a continuação de Vampyr, que estamos a avançar, já vamos para o terceiro capítulo. Deixem-me aqui já estou a começar a carregar o jogo enquanto vos cumprimento. Está tudo bem com vocês, malta? Oliveira, Pemi, Seixas, F7, Nerd Comics, Tiago Vicente, pede desculpa para não ver a live da tarde. Come on, malta. Não, Tiago, não tens que pedir desculpa, então. Para ver quem quer e quem pode, como é óbvio. Perse, Jan Neves, está tudo bem com vocês? Daqui já a carregar, causa e efeito. Aqui a nossa, sem mais horas. Como é que é? Já experimentaste Skyrim Very Special Edition? Não, vocês também têm o Pac-Man, sabiam? Para jogar com a Alexa. Estou colado nisto. A sério? Dá para sacar aqui o Alexa para no... Posso sacar simplesmente no Android e depois sacar o jogo? É de borla? Ou como é que é? E funciona bem? Eu nunca experimentei nenhuma aventura de voz com a Alexa, mas tenho andado a acompanhar os lançamentos. Outro dia escrevi sobre isso. Sobre a Namco Bandai fez a Pac-Man Adventures. Speedmaniac, tudo bem, Oliveira, Sensei, já tinha dito, saquei a Alexa para Android e funciona. Muito bem. Muito bem. Sensei, já vi que meteste 2 joguitos para a loja. Porreiro. A malta que está a dormir, pessoal, temos uma lojinha para vocês gastarem os vossos pontos. Está na descrição. Está lá o split com o Pac-Man. Visita a loja, está lá as regras, vocês têm tudo. Eu não tenho andado a atribuir os pontos do pessoal que está aí na abertura da live, mas eu tenho aqui escrito num documento. Eu basicamente vou copiando a malta toda já 3 ou 4 dias, portanto não se admirem se virem de repente alguns pontos extra depois no fim. Eu tenho estado aqui a anotar, posso eventualmente ter falhado um ou outro, acho que ontem não anotei, nem 2, da E3 aliás não anotei, mas ok? Estás a meter jogos não ser muito mais que 2, obrigado Sensei. Talvez 20, mas não te ponhas a spamar cenas maradas para receber pontos. Mete assim jogos AAA, daqueles jogos de 80€, que é para o pessoal. Percebes? Não sei, estou a brincar. Como é que é, Débora? Está tudo bem? Não estou a dormir, mas estás quase a dormir, não é? Estou a brincar contigo, Sensei. Podes meter à vontade, obviamente. Fazem uma coisa que vocês não vão fazer. Quem atribui jogos tem que atribuir o preço. Não vou inventar preços. Percebem? E se calhar é muito mais fixe vocês meterem um preçozito que seja acessível, obviamente, dentro do valor do jogo. Está bem? Tens de tirar os que já estão esgotados. Os que estão esgotados estão lá a dizer que já oferecemos daqueles bons jogos, não é? Se o pessoal resgatou, se eu vou tirar da loja, fico sem os pergaminhos. Não é verdade? Seixas. Não são jogos de porcaria, estou a brincar contigo, eu não vi quais são os jogos. Bom, malta, sem mais demoras, bora lá para... Deixa-me só aqui compor isto. Deixa-me só ter aqui para gameplay da consola. Está feito. Vamos lá. que interessa aqui a nossa historinha hoje, ok? Ok, bandolos do Fanatical. Muito bem, Sensei. Já sabem, não custa nada, são pontos que vocês podem resgatar, são pontos que vocês podem, através das subscrições, dos bits, todas essas coisas vocês ganham pontitos que depois não tem jeito nenhum para atribuir preço. Pá, tá bem. Tu é que sabes, amigo. Vou meter isso tudo aí ao desbarato para o pessoal de comprar isso tudo. Bom, então estamos aqui com o nosso médico. Lembrem-se que nesta playthrough aquilo que eu estou a fazer é tentar avançar sem andar a morder as pessoas. Eu quero falar com elas, quero conhecê-las. Já sei que o sangue delas é apetitoso, mas eu tenho sido um médico cavalheiro, ok? Tenho sido uma pessoa boa. Estou amaldiçoado, preciso de me alimentar, mas não faz mal, porque alimento-me dos inimigos, aqueles que andam atrás de mim, que me querem matar. Então, conte ao Edgar Swansea sobre o sangue do Razvan Vazil. E onde é que anda o gajo? Qual é que é? Ele tem aqui um laboratório, não é? Não. Deixa-me lá ver onde é que ele anda. Tenho que ir aqui para o lobby. Ok. Dr. Swansea. Então, doutor. Primeiro vou roubar o gajo. Espera aí. Se o gajo tem aqui alguma coisa que seja roubável. Dou. Siga.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
Já não me lembro o que é que aconteceu. Analisei o sangue. E eu não me lembro. Os sintomas eram diferentes da França. Já não me lembro.
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
Foi?
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Sim.
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stole, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here, but it is spreading and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
Londres pode-se todo ao meu reino. Bom.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
Então.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
O olho estava no túmulo. Funeral de Mary. Ok, temos que ir. Acabei de informar a ligação de que a enfermeira Crane não trabalha mais no hospital. Também informei sobre o que encontrei em Whitechapel. O paciente que eu não pude salvar num ambulatório ilegal de enfermeira Crane estava infectado pela gripe espanhola, mas também exibiu sangue altamente instável dos Skulls. Será que a epidemia vampírica de Londres pode ser transmitida pela gripe? Esta hipótese agora é plausível. Infelizmente, esta notícia não se compara com o que o Edgar acabou de me dizer. É minha irmã. Mary será enterrada no cemitério de Stonebridge. Sinto-me obrigado a ir assistir à cerimónia. Ao mesmo tempo, tenho o pavor de ficar diante do túmulo da minha primeira vítima como vampiro. Alright. Nós matámos a nossa própria irmã ao início do jogo, lembram-se? E eu não quero matar mais ninguém. Bom. Sendo assim, temos algum caso aberto? Investigações locais. Como é que é? Eu não tenho nada aqui a fazer isto. Samuel no cemitério, ok. Tenho que lá ir ao cemitério, portanto é normal. Siga. Bom.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Ainda não experimentei festa moca nova. É boa para morder, mas a gaja também tira bué de dano. Tira muito. Latinha, estás bem? Está tudo bem contigo? Esta boca é boa. Sanguinho sempre fresquinho, ok. O Vampyr está muito bom, pá, está muito bom. Podem doar, malta. Haverá sempre alguém que os vai querer, ok? Para a nossa lojinha ficar recomposta. Ainda tenho lá mais alguns para meter também. Mas pronto. Tenho uma coisa grave que se chama preguiça, malta, às vezes. Finalmente estou com uma arma bem fixe. Bom. Vamos lá ao enterro.
My dear sister, I don't know if I have the strength.
Temos que encontrar também o rapaz. Olha lá. Tens-te a fazer as duas coisas ao mesmo tempo. Atordoas e tira montes de dano. Bora. Estás salva. Olá.
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Dá para te conhecer melhor?
Shouldn't you go back home, where you'll be safe?
Maybe later. But for now, I need to talk to my husband at the cemetery, Mr. Reed.
Uma chinesazita. Ok, não temos que falar com ela aqui, provavelmente. Onde é que está o tipo que a gente tem que encontrar? Era aqui, no cemitério. Cabrão. Bem, não sei esticar. Mas a panefada que os gajos mandam. Isto tem sempre qualquer coisa para a gente apanhar que serve de ingredientes, não é? Ao fim e ao cabo. Eu preciso fazer medicamentos porque eu preciso curar a malta, senão. Amostra de sangue intenso, pronto. Também dá quinina. Resto aqui das flores do pessoal. Mas onde é que raio? Como é que está a ver aqui o enterro com tanta montra aqui, né? Silvia, está tudo bem? Deixa-me lá planear isto. Ok, pipa ali. Tem que dar a volta. Tem que dar a volta por aqui. E por aqui. Ok.
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
Sério?
Mother. Why have you come here?
Ei,
This is proving far worse than I
onde é que
imagined.
está, man? Está lá ninguém dentro, meu.
Avery, I leave you to care for my mother. I'm in no state to comfort her.
Olha ela ali. Muito bem.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were
Duas
dead,
pessoas.
yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to
E o
dust.
sensei está on fire. Obrigado, amigo.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the
Bons
legal
jogos.
requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Sempre a bombar. É na loja, malta. Na loja dos pontos, vejam os jogos que estão a aparecer lá. Vocês podem buscar os pontos facilmente.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could only change one thing. One thing. This is a nightmare.
Foi mal.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
Yeah. Diga-me como.
How is it possible? Tell me. Is it so easy to take a life every night, and then just smile and nod at those you spared?
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
Provavelmente.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
I'm not a religious man. You should know that.
This is not about you forgiving yourself. This is for her. This is you telling Mary how sorry you are.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
Ok. Vamos até à igreja. Deixa-me só encontrar. Falta ouvir o coveiro para meter terra. Soro de sangue fraco, uma fórmula estranha. Ok. Encontrei uma fórmula. Se calhar não posso ver nada aqui, né? Tenho que ir depois lá à mesa de trabalho. Queria só encontrar o tal tipo, pá, para eu não voltar aqui depois. Isto ainda é grande. Deixa lá ver.
It's locked, all
Oh,
right.
come on. Está fechada por onde? Por aqui? Oh, caralho.
It's locked.
Já gastei sangue. Bom, siga. Depois eu venho cá. Uma retazanas. Preciso comer. Siga. Não é mundo aberto, Débora. É um semi-aberto. É muito pequenino o mundo. Não reparaste ainda. O jogo é linear e tem portas fechadas que não tens saída. Olha lá. Isto é um mundo aberto. É pequenito, pá. Para um mundo aberto. Agora andamos aqui no cemitério. Agora vamos para aqui. Whitechapel. Não é muito grande.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy
Quem fala para mim?
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
Não,
What do you
lobisomem?
want from me?
Olha lá as mãos do gajo. Que bicho grande.
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon.
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and
Que
jury.
besta.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Mostra sangue. Ei lá, quem é aquela besta ali? Uma combinação. Ainda não usei o meu ultimate, hein? Mostra sangue de forte aguado. Ok. Fica em casa. Ok. O que é que se passa aqui? Charada. Olha isto. Nossa, espera aí, não vejo nada. Parado. Cascal de lã. Olha a investigação. Okay.
Get them weapons ready! We found one! The leech He's done for!
Quase lá? Isso mesmo? Entrar aqui não. Não. Oh caraças, quem é aquele gajo da igreja? Isso é batiço, meu. O gajo queima-me. É um reverendo. Isso, virem-me costas. Só porque eu estou aqui. Sim, sim. O gajo usa os truques todos, meu. Até tens alha, até é. Morde como caraças.
This man stunned me with his faith. His crucifix.
Yeah.
This is not good news.
Vamos lá.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
Não preciso de companhia, não preciso de um ouvido amigo, isto é um assunto particular. Eu já nem sei. Está tudo na negativa, gajo?
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
Isto é um assunto particular, só para quem se foi.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet
Oh,
I see
Sirio.
the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the law.
Very well, priest. As you
Sou
seem
vampiro.
quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
It was an accident. A terrible, terrible accident.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
É verdade.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
Fui eu?
What would you like her to know?
I'm so sorry, Mary. I promise to find who is responsible for
Ou
all
seja,
this.
que me fez a mim
I'll
fazer
put an
isso.
end to this horror.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Quanto é de reação, Sofia? Ok, tenho que voltar ao hospital.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all. It's locked, all right.
Então, Mel, estás aqui a fazer pá.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I'll never know what goes on in that place. But as long as people are getting better, I'll stop investigating her.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Ok. Não mais nada aqui. Tchau.
Do you need assistance?
Save your time for the people who need you here, Doctor.
Não está doente. Saudável.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Então. Porta destrancada. Qual é que era a porta destrancada? Aqui. Ok. Aos poucos vamos dando a volta. Destracando cenas.
Remember your vows, friends. Stay back.
Shit. Sai, 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 vou morrer. Oh my god. Medidas drásticas. Teve mesmo que ser. Ia morrendo agora. Ok, cooldown de 80 e tal segundos. Teve mesmo que ser. Ok. Preciso de sangue urgentemente. Está aqui um bebê. Ok. Ratos também dá. Nada a zarolho. Lógica-se. Oba, caraças, meu. Nem sei de quem é esta casa. É. Como é que é? Ah, para ali. Carregamentos são esquisitos como o caraças.
Remorse and pain are when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
Foi este?
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Riddles and rhymes. You took my life. Now you insult my mind.
Be stilled, my child. I bring understanding.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Ok. Vamos lá ver aqui a nossa bancada. Fórmula estranha. Ok, nice. Mais duas cenas. Então, bora lá ver quem é que precisa de ajuda. Começar a anotar outra vez como ontem. Então, aqui no hospital. Aqui precisamos de um fadiga. Aqui anemia. Resfriado. Fadiga. 2. 3 de fadiga. Resfriado 2. Cefaleia. Ok, está tudo bem, meu desconhecido. E fadiga 4. Ok. Fadiga 1, 2, 3, 4. Mais anemia. Já cá tenho um. Tenho que poupar resfriados. Nada para resfriados, não encontrei, foi? Ah, está aqui resfriado, espera aí. Ok. Dois para resfriados. Cefaleia 1. Onde é que está a cefaleia? Ok. Pronto. Para já Vou tratar esta malta toda. Lá aqui, armar-nos em médicos. Fazer o nosso trabalhinho em vez de andar só aí a perder. Ok, já começo a encontrar o pessoal. Saudável. Tu. Resfriado. Nós temos para aqui para resfriado. Temos. Anda cá. Vamos lá curar.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Estás ventinha.
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reed.
Not under my watch, Nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Ok.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Ok, tu estás curada. Fadiga. Anda cá.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, Nurse?
I will be fine as soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Ok. Nada de especial.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you...
Muito bem. Então temos em recuperação. Recuperação. Saudável.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead, yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
Ok. Nada de especial para me falares mais.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Vai ser decorado. Quem é que falta? Dá aqui o pessoal que eu não conheço.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Ok, não há nada de novo para lhe perguntar.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Ok, temos aqui pessoas novas.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Olá.
Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Temos remédio?
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Anemia. Quer dizer que isto tem que ir fazer mais outro.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well-deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Muito bem.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
Yep.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Deixa-me lá ver aqui a cena das pessoas. Recuperação. Ok, acabei por curar toda a gente. Ainda falta este.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansey's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Fadiga, mas não tenho.
I will see you later. Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Bem.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Ciao, Deborah.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Okay.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives.
Este tipo é conservador.
You see, that is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Ok, já vi que isto, transfusões de sangue nesta altura, é coisa do demónio, certo?
We'll talk later.
Bom. Fadiga, mas eu não sei se tenho aqui mais fadiga.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I...
É preciso 2 de fadiga.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I'd like to see your...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Isto nada especial, né? Espera aí.
Good evening,
Milton.
Milton. Good. I'd like to...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Qual cidadão? É que temos que investigar.
I cannot enter.
I will not let you down, my boy.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give...
How can we be sure we're making a difference?
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Muito bem.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Okay.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Então, se eu não percebo, ele está-me aqui a dizer... ok, já passou então. Ok, já passou. Preciso ir lá acima buscar mais um médico. Lá a fadiga. Caraca, ando sempre à pesca das escadas, pá. Aqui a missão, já lá vamos. Ok. De que forma eu vou dormir? Que? Troca o ganho instantâneo de vida por uma maior regeneração. De qualquer forma, isto são 2000, não dá. Ok. Não chega para nada. Tudo curadinho. Estável. Aumentou bastante. Saudável. Temos aqui consequências. Desconhecido. Fadiga. Anemia. Fadiga. Anemia já tenho. Só que não encontrei o gajo. Resfriado. Cefalia. Mas aqui é que temos que ir. Pois está a ficar grave, não é? Este gajo está quase a morrer. Pneumonia. Fadiga. Ok. Vivo em apuros. Malta, vem já, entretanto, ok? desculpa lá. Ok, vou lá falar com... Vê discussão aí.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Este é o matelão que vimos outro lado transformado da outra vez.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Well,
very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Centrista. Okay.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
É, tudo saudável aqui. Anda cá, pá, para te curar.
Good evening.
És tu.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need.
Então, o que é que estava aqui? Onde é que eu estava aqui com fadiga? És tu.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you need any medical help?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital.
Lá, quando toda
It's a sad
esta
state of
malta
affairs
toda.
when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. And thanks anyway.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion?
Someone killed Miss Jones in her room, and Mr. Hampton's gone missing. Doesn't take a genius to piece it together.
You don't seem shocked by any of this.
Why should I be? Whoever did this must be long gone by now. And besides, he got rid of the old bag.
Okay.
Goodbye, Milton. Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed.
And why is...
People who don't sleep at night always seem more...
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Ah, não tenho. Pandemia.
I will see you later. Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
Sure.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
What can you tell me about them?
All I know is I ain't letting anyone rip my throat out in my sleep. I found myself a nice blade, Doc. I'm ready.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you
São os
off?
objetos que a gente apanha vai desbloqueando estas pistas para falar com eles.
Away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox? I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'll be surprised if you manage to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
A lucky charm? I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
The police may be slow, but they will find you eventually.
Well, how come you didn't turn me in then? Nah, Doc, I figure you have something to hide so you can't ask the coppers for help.
Pista fracassou? Então. que era isto? Ok.
I'll leave you for...
Bom, quando é que temos que ir de... Isto é o hospital. Regressar às docas, não é?
It seems the Priwen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Porra, vai deles agora.
Lisa, can't let you through. Steady, boys. We cannot be defeated. I are here to...
Acho que queima, meu, que aquilo.
Away with you.
Tira-me o sangue todo.
Die, vermin! Bloody leech! That's gonna hurt!
Ajeitadinha. Parece, deixa para ali, ainda tenho que ir aqui para baixo.
Look at it! Vicious bugger! Murdering bosses!
Caraças, parei. Essa cana acerta-me sempre, pá.
I'd step back, sir. Stupid beast! That's got her!
Está para aí um maluco a gritar. Então, meu. Esse calo ofuscado lá dentro. Ok. Temos aqui muitos de gente que a gente ainda não conhece. Bem, a gente hoje não vai falar com ninguém, senão estamos tramados.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
Sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night. Your sewer dog is my business.
Good evening, sir.
He's the kind of prey
Don't you
I
recognize me?
We don't take it personally. I spend a lot of energy forgetting what I did.
Yes, you had definitely...
I'm Dyson Delaney.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom what's about him.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and
Go
at
on with
noon. I drink at night, and then I drink some more.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad.
That's because I am.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you?
Is there anything in particular?
How dare you say such a thing? I love...
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Canta lá.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. A bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. And now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is, I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you.
Outra vez. Já deu a volta, mano.
Another time, perhaps.
Ok.
Surely you must have had...
Sure. I wanted things to change.
Sounds like you were an ideal...
No, sir.
Começar a saltar, senão a gente nunca mais sai daqui. Okay.
Do you really think that...
No, I believe we all can choose to make...
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor. Make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you still see your comrades, then?
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Goodbye, Mr.
E tu, tens pistas?
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour, but I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Have you heard of the Guard of...
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
What can you tell me about...
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Poor boy. It's a shame
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
So...
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people...
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
How do you identify...
Está a falar com Vampyr?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight.
Okay.
They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
I appreciate your concern, but I...
Goodbye.
Ok.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doctor.
Inebriation aside.
Yes.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop. The only remedy I can...
Goodbye.
He didn't deserve this.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me, then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Do you need any help?
I'm all right, Doc.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
So.
The important thing is I find him. Quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
I believe he returned to his flock.
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
Muito bem.
How is it you can keep...
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
I see.
Something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
Since I'm here...
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. And with the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line.
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Chef de armazém, okay.
What can you tell me?
That's not that bad.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own...
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
With the epidemic, no one dares go outside.
Ora bem. Acho que ir para o outro lado.
Another disgusting ghoul did it, don't you think?
Seems like the guard of Prewen is on
Temos
Sean
boss?
Hampton's trail too.
Let's pin it down!
Put some of that. I hate leeches. It's hand. Crush the leech, boys. Die, Fanny. Kill you.
Graças para o fogo.
Burn it, boys. Die, vermin. I hate leeches.
caraças, meu. Pistola, ok. More than vamps. Fight.
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
Ok. Bom, pessoal. Vamos chegar por aqui. Eu sei que tenho que encontrar o tipo aqui. Mas à partida. Deixa eu ver se ele gravou ou não. Eu nem reparei. Depois do boss, de certeza que gravou, não é? Será que há aqui alguns esconderijos? Não. Por acaso há um mesmo ali ao pé do sítio. Ok, temos aqui um abrigo.
It's locked.
Não? Como é que nós estamos? Onde é que é o esconderijo? É ali em cima. Nem sei se ele gravar aqui na mesa, não é? Gravou. Press o Y lá em cima. Quer dizer que gravou. Malta, vamos ficar por aqui. Ok? Amanhã continuamos aqui a nossa história de vampiros. Portem-se bem, malta. Está a ficar fixe. Tem muitos diálogos realmente. Uma pessoa tem que perder aqui algum tempo a ler e a conhecer as personagens. E só assim é que se consegue desbloquear pistas. E é assim que eu estou a ganhar experiência, ao fim e ao cabo. Ok? Bem, pessoal. Até amanhã. Muito obrigado a todos por estarem aí. E boa escola, bom trabalho, se for o caso. Ok? Vai, malta. Portem-se bem.